हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। और इस सेशन में हम करेंगे कुछ और इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन डेफिनेट इंटीग्रल के। और क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 तक आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस इन पार्ट नंबर 4। सो लेट अस गो अहेड विद सम मोर इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस। क्वेश्चन नंबर 14, evaluate the definite integral 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10x dx. Now let this definite integral be equal to I. Let I be equal to 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10x dx. Now from this definite integral, it is clear that we should apply here the property 0 to a. 0 to a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fa minus dx. So using that property, I can write this definite integral is also equal to 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10 pi by 4 minus x dx. Using the property 0 to a fx dx is also equal to 0 to a f a minus x dx. Now let us simplify it further. So this definite integral is equal to 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus, now using the formula of tan a minus b. Tan a minus b is equal to tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a tan b. So this is equal to tan pi by 4 minus tan x upon 1 plus tan pi by 4 into tan x dx. Now this is also equal to 0 to pi by 4 log of 1 plus tan pi by 4 is equal to 1. So 1 minus tan x, and here also 1 into tan x, that is 1 minus tan x upon 1 plus tan x dx. Now taking the LCM in the denominator, this definite integral is also equal to I is equal to 0 to pi by 4 log LCM is 1 plus tan x, and in the numerator 1 plus tan x plus 1 minus tan x dx. This tan x and tan x get cancelled, so this is equal to 0 to pi by 4 log 2 upon 1 plus tan x dx. Now using the log property, log m upon log n is equal to log m minus log n. So this can be written as 0 to pi by 4 log 2 minus log of 1 plus tan x dx. Now separating the two functions here, I can write this is equal to 0 to pi by 4 log 2 dx minus 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus tan x dx. This is the same definite integral which we have taken equal to I. So this I is equal to 0 to pi log 2 is a constant, so this can be taken out of the integral 0 to pi by 4 1 dx minus this definite integral is again equal to the I. So I, transposing this I to the other side, 2I is equal to log 2 and the integration of 1, that is x, from 0 to pi by 4. Now applying the limits here, putting the value pi by 4 and then putting 0 and then subtracting, so we get log 2 into pi by 4 minus 0, that is equal to pi by 4 log 2. Now we want to calculate I, so I is equal to pi upon 8 log 2. So the value of the definite integral 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10x dx is equal to pi upon 8 log 2. Next question, question number 15. Evaluate the definite integral from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus e raised to the power x dx. So let this definite integral be equal to I minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus e raised to the power x dx. Now recalling the property minus a to a, f(x) dx is equal to 0 to a f(x) plus f minus x dx. So I can write this I is equal to 0 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus ex, and now replacing xy minus x here, plus cos of minus x upon 1 plus e raised to the power minus x dx, which is equal to 0 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus e raised to the power x, cos of minus x is equal to cos x, so plus cos x upon 1 plus e raised to the power minus x is equal to 1 upon e raised to the power x dx, which on further simplification 0 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus ex plus, taking the LCM in the denominator, cos x upon 1 plus e raised to the power x plus 1 upon e raised to the power x dx, which is equal to 0 to pi by 2 cos x upon 1 plus ex plus e raised to the power x will be multiplied in the numerator, e power x cos x upon e raised to the power x plus 1 dx. Now if we take the LCM, then 0 to pi by 2 LCM is 1 plus ex cos x plus e raised to the power x cos x dx. So in the numerator cos x can be taken as common, so 0 to pi by 2 cos x into 1 plus e raised to the power x upon 1 plus e raised to the power x dx. 1 plus e raised to power x, 1 plus e raised to power x is cancelled, and now integration of cos x is sin x from 0 to pi by 2, and applying the limits pi by 2 sin of pi by 2 minus sin 0, which is equal to 1. So the final answer of the question is equal to 1. Next question, question number 16. Evaluate the definite integral 0 to 2 greatest integer x square dx. And now if there are some points between A and B, let the point be C and D, then we can use the property 0 a to b fx dx is equal to a to c fx dx plus c to d fx dx plus d to b fx dx. So if there are intermediate points between a and b, then we can split the integral, definite integral like this: a to c, then c to d, and then d to b. In this case, the value of x varies from 0 to 2. So let us split this from 0 to 1. X square dx, then from 1 to under root 2, we can take the intermediate points between 1 and 2 as 0, then 1, then root 2, and then root 3, and then 2. Because value 1.414 and root 1.73, these values lies between 0 and 2. So splitting like this: 0 to 1, because 0 to, if the value of x varies from 0 to 1, then x square will vary from 0 to 1, that is greatest. So if the value of x varies from 1 to root 2, greatest integer x square dx, plus from 1 root 2 to root 3, greatest integer x square dx, and from root 3 to 2, greatest integer x square dx. Now if the value of x varies from 0 to 1, x varies from 0 to 1, in that case the value of x square will vary from 0 to 1, that is greatest integer x square will be equal to 0. That is, I can say this 0 to 1, 0 dx, plus when the value of x varies from 1 to under root 2, then x square will vary from 1 to 2, and the greatest integer x square will be equal to 1. So I can write this will be equal to 1 to root 2, 1 dx, plus when the value of x varies from root 2 to root 3, value of x is varying from root 2 to root 3, that is x square will vary from 2 to 3, and in that case the greatest integer x square will be equal to 2. So this is equal to root 2 to root 3, 2 dx, plus when the value of x varies from root 3 to 2, value of x varies from root 3 to 2, in that case x square will vary from 3 to 4, that is the greatest integer x square will be equal to 3 by the definition of greatest integer. So this will be equal to 3 dx within the limits lower to root 3 to 2. Now integrating, this is 0, so this is equal to 0 plus 1 dx, that is x, and within the limits 1 to root 2 plus 2 dx, 2 is a constant and 1 dx is equal to x, so 2x from root 2 to root 3, and here from root 3 to 2, 3 dx will be equal to 3x from root 3 to 2. Now solving this, we get root 2 minus 1. here we get 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2 plus here we get 6 minus 3 root 3. So 6 minus 1 is equal to 5, and minus 2 root 2 and plus root 2 is equal to minus root 2, and minus 3 root 3 and plus 2 root 3 is equal to minus under root 3. So this is the final answer of this question. The definite integral 0 to 2 greatest integer x square dx is equal to 5 minus under root 2 minus under root 3. Next question, question number 17. Evaluate the definite integral 1 to 2 greatest integer 3x dx. Here the value of x lies between 1 and 2. So the value of 3x lies between 3 and 6. So if the value of 3x is greater than or equal to 3, less than 4, then greatest integer x 3x will be equal to 3. So here the value of x is between 3x is between 3 and 4. So that is, in this case, x lies between 1 and 4 upon 3. So when x is between 1 and 4 upon 3, greatest integer 3x is equal to 3. When the value of 3x lies between 4 and 5, the greatest integer 3x will be equal to 4, and that is, the value of 3x lies between 4 and 5. It means that is x is greater than or equal to 4 upon 3 and less than 5 upon 3. Now when the value of 3x lies between 5 and 6, lies between 5 and 6, implies that here I must write 3 greatest integer 3x, which implies that greatest integer 3x is equal to this value 5, the least value. Now 3x lies between 5 and 6, that is x lies between 5 upon 3 and dividing by 3, that is 2. So when x is between 1 and 4 upon 3, this function is equal to 3. When x is between 4 upon 3 and 5 upon 3, greatest integer 3x is equal to 4. When x is between 5 upon 3 and less than 2, greatest integer 3x is equal to 5. So now let us split this definite integral. So if we split this definite integral, then using the intermediate point property, that is from a to b, and if there are points c and d between, so a to c, then c to d and d to b, using that property I can split this definite integral 1 to 2 greatest integer 3x dx can be splitted as 1 to 4 upon 3 greatest integer 3x dx plus 4 upon 3 to 5 upon 3, 4 upon 3 to 5 upon 3 greatest integer 3x dx plus 5 upon 3 to 2 greatest integer 3x dx. Now in this limit, lower limit 1 and 4 by 3, greatest integer 3x is equal to 3. So I can write 1 to 4 by 3 dx plus in this lower limit and upper limit, within these limits the value of greatest integer 3x is equal to 4. So I can write 4 by 3 to 5 upon 3 4 dx plus within this limit, that is from 5 upon 3 to 2, greatest integer 3x is equal to 5 dx. Now on integrating we get 3x from 1 to 4 by 3 plus 4x from 4 by 3 to 5 by 3 plus 5x from 5 by 3 to 2. Now putting the values, we get 3 into 4 by 3 minus 3 into 1 plus 4 into 5 upon 3 minus 4 into 4 upon 3 plus 5 into 2 minus 5 into 5 upon 3. This is equal to 12 upon 3 minus 3 plus 20 upon 3 minus 16 upon 3 plus 10 minus 25 upon 3. Three 4 times cancelled, so 4 minus 3 is 1. 20 minus 16, that is 4 upon 3 plus 10 minus 20, 30 minus 25 upon 3. Taking the LCM 3, so 3 plus 4 plus 5 upon 3, which is equal to 12 upon 3, and the final answer is equal to 4. So this definite integral from 1 to 2 greatest integer 3x dx is equal to 4. Next question, question number 18. Evaluate the definite integral 0 to 3 by 2 x cos pi x dx. Now let us find the points on, for cos where the value of cos pi x is 0. Implies that pi x angle should be a multiple of 2n minus 1 pi by 2, n belongs to integer. I am finding this point because the nature of cos changes when the value of cos x is 0. Before cos x, when value of cos x is 0, means before that what is the value will be either positive or negative, and after that the value will be either positive or negative. So finding the points where cos pi x is equal to 0, this pi and pi is cancelled here, so x is equal to 2n minus 1 into pi 2n minus 1 by 2. Now if I put n is equal to 1 here, then the x is equal to 1 by 2. And when I put x is equal to 2, then x is equal to 3 by 2. Means when the value of x is 1 by 2 and the value of x is 3 by 2, then the value of cos pi x is 0. It means before these points, and after these points let us check the value. So if the value of x is equal to 1 by 2 means before that we must check between 0 and 1 by 2, because we want to evaluate the definite integral from 0 to 3 by 2. So between 0 and 1 by 2, what is the nature of cos pi x? So if the value of x lies between 0 and 1 by 2, in that case the pi x lies between 0 and pi by 2. So when the angle lies between 0 and pi by 2, the value of cos pi x is greater than 0, and x is already greater than 0 because it lies between 0 and 1 by 2. So x cos pi x is greater than 0 when the value of x lies between 0 and 1 by 2. Now between 1 by 2 and 3 by 2, what happens? Let us check that. So if the value of x is between 1 by 2 and 3 by 2, then the angle pi x lies between pi by 2 and 3 by 2 pi by 2 and 3 by 2 pi, and in this angle range will be less than 0 in this case, and x is already positive, so positive into negative, x cos pi x will be less than 0. Now let us apply the property a to b fx dx, and if there are intermediate points, here the point is 1 by 2, so a to b fx dx we can write this is equal to a to c fx dx and c to b fx dx. If there is a point c lying between, if there is a point c which lies between a and b, so this definite integral can be splitted like this. Using this property we can write this definite integral 0 to 3 by 2 x cos pi x is equal to dx is equal to 0 to 1 by 2 mod x cos pi x dx plus 1 by 2 to 3 by 2 mod x cos pi x dx. Now recalling the property of mod x is equal to mod x is equal to x if x is greater than or equal to 0, and mod x is equal to minus x if x is less than 0. So by using that property we can write this definite integral is equal to 0 to 1 by 2, between 0 and 1 by 2 x cos pi x is positive, so I can write 0 to 1 by 2 mod x cos pi x will be equal to itself, that is x cos pi x dx, and from 1 by 2 to 3 by 2 the value of x cos pi x is negative. Using this property here we can write this 1 by 2 to 3 by 2 minus x cos pi x dx. Now let us integrate x cos pi x. So let us integrate x cos pi x dx. Algebraic function and trigonometric function, again remembering the Eilert rule. In Eilert rule says algebraic function will be taken as first function and trigonometric as second. Using that first function, integration of cos pi x dx minus integration of differentiation of the first function, that is d dx of x, which is equal to 1, integration of second function cos pi x dx and the whole integral. So this is equal to x into integration of cos pi x is equal to sin pi x upon pi minus integration of cos pi x is sin pi x upon pi dx. Now again integrating it, x sin pi x upon pi, and here the integration of sin pi x is equal to minus cos pi x upon pi. So this reduces this is equal to cos pi x upon pi square here. Minus minus will make it plus. So this is the final integral. Now putting the value here and applying the limits 0 to pi by 2, 0 to 1 by 2, x sin pi x upon pi, x sin pi x upon pi plus cos pi x upon pi square, and evaluating it within the limits 0 to 1 by 2. 0 to 1 by 2. Then minus sign, and the value is x sin pi x upon pi plus cos pi x upon pi square, and evaluating it within the limits 1 by 2 to 3 by 2. Now putting the limits here, putting x is equal to 1 by 2, so we get here 1 by 2, and sin pi upon 2 upon pi plus cos pi upon 2 upon pi square minus putting x is equal to 0 here, 0 into this is 0, and cos here if I put x is equal to 0, cos 0, that is 1 upon pi square. So this is the evaluation of the first limit here. Now in the second bracket, minus sign, putting x is equal to 3 by 2, x is 3 by 2, 3 by 2 pi, 3 by 2 sin 3 by 2 pi upon 3 pi, and then putting equal to 3 by 2 here, cos 3 pi by 2, cos 3 pi by 2 upon pi square. Minus putting x is equal to 1 by 2 here, then 1 by 2 sin pi by 2 upon pi, and then putting 1 by 2 cos pi by 2 upon pi square plus cos pi by 2 upon pi square. Now sin pi by 2 is 1, so we get 1 upon 2 pi, cos 90 is 0, so this is 0, minus 1 upon pi square, Here sine 3 pi by 2 means minus 1. So minus 3 by 2 pi cos 3 pi by 2 is equal to cos 90 0 plus 0, then minus sine pi by 2 is 1 here, so 1 upon 2 pi minus 1 upon 2 pi, and cos pi by 2 is equal to 0, that is this is 0. So this is equal to 1 upon 2 pi minus 1 upon pi square plus 3 upon 2 pi plus 1 upon 2 pi, 3 and 1 4 and 1 5, 5 upon 2 pi minus 1 upon pi square. So this is the final answer of this question. With this question, I conclude this session. Like and subscribe my channel for new videos and press the bell icon. Thank you, students.